I had a question about the Doctrine of Discovery. I was under the impression that the kind of idea that Europeans had about non-white Europeans was kind of already in place. Would you say that the Doctrine of Discovery kind of provided an outlet or an excuse to act on that idea, or do you think it provided the idea?
Yeah, no, the Doctrine of Discovery is the fruit, essentially. In other lectures I give, I identify the Doctrine of Discovery is the fruit of basically the church in the 3rd century getting into bed with the empire. And it's the conversion of Constantine, the creation of Christendom in the 3rd century, that leads to, because the church never had the idea that it would be a Christian empire. Jesus was clear in his teachings. He came, his kingdom was of this earth. Constantine creates this extra-biblical idea of a Christian empire. So in the 4th century, there's a dilemma, which is the empire is doing what empires do, which is expand and protect itself through war. A plain text reading of Scripture doesn't allow that, so we need Augustine to do some theological gymnastics and create a just war theory, explaining why the empire cannot act Christian. Over the centuries, the just war theory morphs into the Crusades. In the 12th century, the 1300s, the writings of the papal bulls begin to express a new category of other, which it calls infidels. It's primarily used to refer to the Moors or the Muslims. It's a category of other. Later, it's applied to indigenous peoples. Once it creates this category of other, this infidel, now you don't even need a just war theory to go to war, because now you can base your wars on theological grounds. We're fighting the other. That's what allows in the 14th century, or the 1400s, the explicit writings of the Doctrine of Discovery, which say, invade, search out, capture, vanquish, and subdue all Saracens and pagans whatsoever. Once you've otherized the group, now you can do whatever you want to them. So I identify the Doctrine of Discovery very much as the fruit of the church getting into bed with the empire back in the 3rd century. This is a great question.
Thank you.